province. I'm Shenhan. So right now I'm in 3 lanes and 7 alleys, one of the 10 most historic and cultural districts in China. This is a very special place with a main street connecting all the 3 lanes and 7 alleys on both sides. Many of the surrounding mansions are hundreds of years old, and many famous figures in modern China once lived in here. So it is a must-see destination for visitors to Fuzhou. Did you see the big Fu character on the ground? It means happiness and good fortune. During the Spring Festivals, every Chinese family pastes the Fu characters on their doors or windows for a happier and more prosperous life in the new year. So from the composition of the Fu character, it can be seen that our ancestors considered it a blessing to have a piece of land and enough food to eat. Such a pursuit is not suit our national conditions today. With the absolute poverty eliminated, we have achieved the goal of moderate prosperity in all respects. You know, happiness is not just comes from material or spiritual wealth, but also from hard work and creations, which reflects our understanding and aspiration for a better life. Okay. Hi. At the entrance of the exhibition hall of Fujian Cultural, 2 thin puppies are welcoming us. Hello. And say hi to the audience. So cute. Alright, thanks to the precise movement of puppeteer's finger, it shows such agility, and I think it takes much training to pull it off. Thank you. You know, Fujian is the only province in China that has Fu in its name, and we in Fujian considered our hometown a picturesque land of blessings. Living in such a beautiful place is deemed as blessings, and we also inherit and interpret Fu cultures in various different forms. So let's learn about Fujian's Fu culture through an exhibition. Okay, we see the first thing. The first thing is a 喜螺, or we can call it auspicious bamboo basket. 老师您好，咱们这个喜螺是用竹子做的，对不对？
对的，我们这个喜螺全部都是用竹子加工而成。它是喜螺是在各种喜庆场合中使用的。然后它寓意的是圆满幸福。像这套福禄寿喜财，是我们中国传统的五福。五福临门，代表五福人生。OK， 象征的是人生最高最完美的境界。
Okay, thank you. So the master says, 喜螺 is often used in many festive occasions, and it can be presented as a gift. You see, the thin bamboo strips are interwoven with some auspicious Chinese characters, such as Fu we just mentioned before. A small bamboo basket carries people's aspirations, wishes, prayers for a better life. That's amazing. Thank you. 谢谢老师。好，这个谢谢您。And in front of us, there are even more Fu. These 100 Fu characters are stamped with 100 shoushan stone seals. You may ask, what is a seal? It is a tool used by our ancestors to confirm identities and sign up documents. Traditional Chinese painters and calligraphers also affix their seals on their works to lend authority and authenticities. Here, an inheritor of shoushan stone carving technique is working. You know, shoushan stone is regarded as one of the best raw material for making seals. Artists carve seals of different shapes in different styles. In this way, the seals are not only practical, but also with high artistic value. 老师您好，咱们这个印章现在是完成了吗？
完成了。然后我这次用的 寿山石的5个品种，5个不同的颜色，刻的5个符。
OK。
5福临门。
5福临门。All right， 这个是完成的，这个。
这是完成的。
OK。
这是个大符。
So the inheritors prepare 5 different colors and different types of Shoushan stone seals to indicate as the Olympic rings. And this is what a finished seals looks like. The character is engraved on the button, and I think then we dip it in the ink pad. 老师，这个是印泥对吧？
这是印泥。
OK。
然后你可以自己造个符。
All right. We dip it in the ink pad and then stamp it on the paper. 这样用力按 ，OK。Wow, looks a red full characters appears. That's amazing. 谢谢老师 ，Thank you. You know, seals are not frequently used in our daily life now. Instead, they are often collected and admired as an elegant works of art. And now we are going to appreciate another kind of elegant art. Did you hear the beautiful melodies? We are very lucky to have a team of Nanyin performers here these days. As one of the oldest existing types music in China, Nanyin has a history of over 1,000 years. And holding the Chinese lute horizontally, the second performer on the left is demonstrating the way the lute was played in the Tang Dynasty more than 1,000 years ago. And we can see the similar scenes on the murals of Dunhuang as well. However, in modern China, the Chinese lute is vertically held and played most of the time. To Fujian, do go to Quanzhou to enjoy your Nanyin performers and feel the unique charm of the millennium-old music. By the way, as one of the starting points of the maritime Silk Road, Quanzhou was just inscribed to the World Cultural Heritage last year. So it has many cultural treasures to offer. Wow, now I see a paper cutting of full characters on the walls, and I think it contains a lot of patterns of flowers, birds, and bamboo. That's amazing. So you must be familiar with the work displayed here. Paper cutting is a traditional Chinese art, and they are pasted on many occasions during the Spring Festival to create a festive atmosphere. And Fujian's paper cutting has its distinctive patterns featuring with mountains and seas. The work we see now are created by 3 different craftsmen from 3 different regions. And we can see that the artists from the coastal area prefer to the marine elements, such as aquatic animals and ships and boats, and they are forming a more delicate styles. And here, the artists from the mountainous areas prefer to use the elements of farm animals and mountain animals, so their work are less exquisite. Thank you. Wow. 老师，咱们现在是在剪什么作品啊？
我们3个人合作就是为这一次祝福北京冬奥的作品主题作品创作的。
作品名称是《五湖临盟》。
作品的内容是5个冬奥会的吉祥物冰墩墩抱着5个福字，因为福文化是我们福建的特色文化，在这里我们把祝福送给全世界的朋友们。 并为冬奥健儿加油！
加油！非常的棒。So the 3 inheritors of Fujian paper cutting is working hard, and they are prepare paper cuttings with the mascot of these Olympic Games, Bing Dun Dun, and wishing to send you their New Year blessings and cheer the athlete up through their works. So what will their paper cutting looks like? Let's wait and see. All right, in this exhibition room, there are a lot of works of art. And now I would like to introduce this lacquer thread sculpture to you guys. You know, 2022 is the year of the tiger, so the artists create a sculpture of General Tiger. Have you noticed the glittering fine art in his armor? A traditional technique of lacquer thread sculpture was adopted to make them. Mix the natural lacquer with some golden powder, and then decorate it with patterns by the unique technique of piling and folding. The work looks lifelike. How magical. You know, also from the southern China, there is another kind of handicraft with greater visibilities, which is Dehua white porcelain. When Dehua white porcelain was sold to Europe hundreds of years old, the French called it Chinese white and regarded it as the top grade of Chinese porcelain. So the Dehua white porcelain was most known for porcelain sculptures, and most of them are decorative with patterns of figures and flowers. The porcelain body was molded by skilled craftsmen, so it's so thin that it even permits the passage of light. And this set of flower porcelain sculpture is a vivid testimony to this fine art. Well, now we have come to the last section of the exhibition hall of Fujian culture. The craftsman is making an oil paper umbrella. Wow. So you know what? In Chinese, the pronunciation of the oil paper, 油纸, is similar to having children, 游子. So in a traditional Fuzhou wedding, the bride needs to walk under an oil paper umbrella, meaning more children and more happiness. Doesn't it sound romantic and interesting? 师傅，老师您好。
你好。
咱们现在这个是伞骨，您是正在做伞骨对吗？
我们这伞骨已经做好了，然后我现在在做的是一个烙线的过程。烙线的过程，我们可以看到这些伞骨，现在的间距、大小都是不一样的。
对。
然后呢，我们做好的伞，它大小是一样的，间距。然后我们就用这个绳子把它均等分开之外，还有起到一个作用，就是我们这个伞上面，这里面是有绳子，可以起到一个保护的作用，缓冲。
All right.
这样子使伞更经用。
Okay, so the inheritor says he is using a thread to tie up the whole ribs of the oil paper umbrella to make sure each part of it remain the same size and distance. And the ribs of the oil paper umbrella is made up of bamboo components, and the canopy of the umbrella is a kind of cotton paper which produced only in Fujian province. And the twin oil is brushed on the canopy for waterproofness. the whole making process consists of more than 80 steps. And fragile as the umbrella is, it is said that it can survive 1,000 times of opening and closing. That is very amazing. 谢谢老师, thank you. So, the oil paper umbrella is rarely used in our daily life now. And young people prefer to use it as a prop to show the classical Chinese style. So posting a picture of you wearing a Chinese costume and holding an oil paper umbrella will win you many likes. Okay, that's all for the oil paper umbrella. Let's see if our friends from the media have any questions. Okay, thank you. We got the first question. They ask, what makes the oil paper umbrella waterproof? Well, it is an interesting question. So as I mentioned before, the surface of the oil paper umbrella is coated with twin oil. Twin oil is a kind of natural vegetable oil and forming an impermeable layers after drying. And also during the brushing process, the twin oil will fill all the holes in the paper so that the umbrella is watertight. Okay.
你好，主持人你好。
你好。
能听见我说话吧？
也可以。
这边有一位北京日报的记者想提问。
OK， 你好。你好。
你好，那个我想问一下，我对你这个油纸伞啊有兴趣，我想请你问一下这师傅做这么一个油纸要多长时间？
要多长？
成本是多少
？OK。
然后现在说我们去福建、去福州去玩的时候，买这一把这个油纸伞，传统的这个技艺的，大概多少钱一个
？Okay, so you ask, how long will it takes to making an oil paper umbrella, and how much for it, right? If you're visiting in Fuzhou. Okay, 让我来帮你问一下咱们的老师哈。老师您好，就是咱们的记者朋友啊问，就是做这样一把油纸伞，它的成本大概是多少呀？
成本的话，我们大概就是因为它手工制作的，成本大概一把伞制作下来，前后就是材料加上工人工资的话，大概是在大几十块钱。
like 就是100元以下，
对对对，100元以下。
And 还有一个问题就是，做这样一把油纸伞大概要多少的时间？多长时间？就是完成一把。
完成一把，我们就是这叫制作工期。它从竹子到我们的所谓的成品，它需要有30多天的时间。那100把它也是30多天，它是一个时间需要等待的过程。因为我们用的桐油，它是要等到它自然阴干，没办法说烘干啊。
OK， 那如果说有游客来到福建的话，他们要从什么地方可以买到这个油纸伞？
可以在我们福州的这个三坊七巷
就可以买到，是吗？
对。
Okay, the inheritor says it took about a month to make an oil paper umbrella, and it is all made by handcraft, so it is. One oil paper umbrella is under 100 yuan in China. And if you come to Fujian, Fuzhou, do go to the 3 lanes and 7 alleys. There have a lot of oil paper umbrellas to offer to you guys. All right, if there is no more questions, that's all for the oil paper umbrella. And now, my colleague Guan Rui is in a nearby garden. A spring tea party is being held there. Now, let's invite her to introduce the rich, splendid tea culture of Fujian to you guys. Let's go.
As soon as the Spring Festival passes, a new year of diligent working unfolds. What can we do to greet the arrival of spring? For Fujian people, tea is the first choice. As the Chinese saying goes, the whole year's work depends on a good start in spring. When spring arrives, it is refreshing to taste good tea with your friends, renew friendship, and talk about New Year resolutions. To be more prepared for the coming year secures better results. Do you hear the beautiful sound of Caesar? Actually, in this garden with a history of more than 200 years, a tea party is held today to welcome the spring. I'm in for a treat. Excuse me, what are you drinking?
福州茉莉花茶。
福州 jasmine tea.
Ah, may I have a cup of jasmine tea?
Of course.
Thank you. Actually, jasmine tea is the best fit for greeting the spring. It is said that drinking jasmine tea in the cold wind brings you the smell of spring. Refreshing. I really hope to share with you such a refreshing aroma of spring. Jasmine is the city flower of Fuzhou. Over 1,000 years ago, Fuzhou people began to make jasmine tea. Flower buds are mixed into green tea so that the scent of jasmine slowly permeates tea leaves. Repeating the process for many times, a perfect integration of the fragrance of flower and that of tea will be achieved. Thank you.
It's my pleasure.
A quality jasmine tea is not only a masterpiece created by the scenery of time, patience, and exquisite craftsmanship, but also the best gift of nature. Actually, the magic of nature has a part to play during the making process of all tea varieties. Factors that may affect the quality of tea leaves include the climate, environment in which the plants grow, the weather and temperature during the making process, as well as the competence of craftsmen. Walking along the path, the tea house in front of us is themed on oolong tea. I'm very proud to tell you that Fujian is the cradle of oolong tea, and about 80% of oolong tea in the world is produced by Fujian alone. Today, we are getting to know the most famous brands, Anxi Tie Guanyin and Wuyi Rock Tea. Hi, 你们好.
Hi, welcome.
Now let's start with Anxi Tie Guanyin. Growing in large mountains and breathing the freshest air, Anxi Tie Guanyin benefits from the good ecology of Fujian province. Tie Guanyin has a rich orchid fragrance, so there is a very important step during tasting Tie Guanyin. It's called fragrance sampling. Would you please teach me how to do this fragrance sampling?
Sure. So first, we can try to smell the fragrance of the dry tea. So please have a try.
Thank you.
And when you smell the dry tea, you can feel that there's a quiet orchid aroma.
Fragrance of orchid from the dry tea, that's the first step.
Yes. So for the second steps, please have a try. So for the second steps, we can use the 100 boiling water and inject to the brewing cup. And after that, you can make the tea leaves wake up and make the fragrance of the tea soup coming out.
Oh, may I?
Sure, please have a try. And when you taste it, you can feel that there's
the second step is
and smell and taste it.
Smelling the
tea soup. Yes, and you can feel that there's a very strong oaky aroma.
As a second step, it's stronger than the fragrance of dry tea.
Yes. Yeah, so after you tasting it, you can smell the bottom of the teacup.
I get it. The brew of 铁观音 leaves a distinctive orchid aroma in the cup that's really lighting up my mood.
Yes.
Actually, the aroma of top-grade 铁观音 stays even after being brewed for 7 times. I guess you are a big fan of tea. How do you think about the 铁观音 we are drinking? 你觉得我们现在正喝的这个铁观音怎么样？
我觉得它味道很香，就是很顶级的茶哦。
She says the 铁观音 we are drinking is top grade. Wow. Anxi, the major production base of 铁观音, is the largest tea producing county in China. Last year, the brand value of Anxi 铁观音 exceeded over 140 billion yuan, ranking the first place for 6 consecutive years. Thank you. Now let's take a look at Wuyi rock tea, which is also a kind of oolong tea with great popularity. Its major producing area, Wuyi Mountains, has a great number of rocks and mountains. Tea leaves from the trees growing between rocks are believed to have the best quality. This is how the rock tea got its name. I have a question. Wuyi rock tea is oolong tea. Anxi 铁观音 also a kind of oolong tea. What's the difference between them?
I think Anxi 铁观音 like a girl. And Wuyi rock tea like a man.
Why?
Wuyi rock tea, rock bark and flowers, so it's manly, stronger and more powerful.
Oh, let me taste it.
You can taste.
Its special growth conditions and the techniques of charcoal roasting resulting in its strong mellowness. So if you taste it for the first time, you might find it slightly bitter. But after you swallowing it, you will feel a kind of aftertaste of sweetness lingers in your throat and your body becomes warm. That's really wonderful experience.
You like it?
Yeah, I like it too.
它这种就厚重感很强。
It's strong.
对。
Yeah. So, I suppose that's one of the reasons why Fujian people like drinking rock tea during the winter time.
它这个底蕴很足。
是。
The aftertaste.
非常香，好喝。
Nice. Thank you.
慢点啊。
Now, when it comes to winter teas, black tea seems to be a joy for many. It's very familiar to many of us. Wuyi Mountains in Fujian province is the cradle of Lapsang Songchong, the original black tea. As the first Chinese tea introduced to Europe, Lapsang Songchong soon gained its popularity in the British royal family and across Europe, leading to a still trendy ritual of afternoon tea. Even though it is morning time, we can still sit down and have an elegant black tea break. May I?
It's lemon black tea. Have a try.
Thank you.
Would you like some osmosis in the tea?
Osmosis, sure,
Yeah.
please. It's warm, a little bit sweet with a fragrance of osmosis. Actually, black tea blends very well with many ingredients, such as milk or lemon. This time we added some osmosis. It's really generating a rich flavor and enchanting fragrance. There is a fun fact. The name of black tea comes from the color of black tea leaves, but actually in Chinese it is called whitey because of its bright red-colored brew. This red-colored brew really makes me feel warmer, especially in this chilly season. I like it. Thank you. Now let's find out more. Fujian Tea Production dates back to over 1,600 years ago. As early as the Song Dynasty over 900 years ago, Fujian teas began to serve as imperial drinks. Now, Fujian teas drink the first place in China, both in quality and variety, generating output worth about 150 billion yuan per year. As we mentioned today, Fujian jasmine tea, black tea, oolong tea, as well as white tea are all household names. Speaking of white tea, we are in the white tea tasting zone. Wow, it's so funny. A marionette is serving tea. Hi. Hi, 你们好。You see, the strings of the performer's hands allow the puppet work smoothly. When the performer crooking and lifting her fingers, the puppet functions with such precision. She's pouring boiling water. Now she's pouring the tea soup. So precisely, even no one drop of water spilled. Thank you, may I? 我来喝一杯哈。Thank you, Miss Puppet. Thank you, 飞焕。It's a cup of white tea. White tea is regarded as the most natural tea in China. Fresh, tender leaves are picked for weathering under the sunlight, so as to retain most of the nutrients. Locals say that the more aged white tea is, the more valuable it becomes. Because they think it lowers blood pressure, blood lipid, and blood sugar. Does it sound too good to be true? Give it a try by yourself. 你们好。Now, at this point, let's check whether there is any question from our media friends or online viewers. Hello. Hello. I can hear you.
Hello, thank you for your really interesting presentation about the personalities.
Thank you.
Whether the people we see in the video are living there or are actors and actresses?
They are not actors or actresses. They are take part in the party here. They are normal people in the city of Fuzhou. Because we are holding the tea party today, so it attracted some people here. Most of them are fans of tea.
Hello, I'm curious about the different ways the teas were served during the presentation. Like the oolong tea had a wider carafe and tiny little glasses, and the other ones had different serving methods. Just curious about the different methods they were served.
we have different ways to serve different kinds of teas. For example, about teacups. Teacups with various materials or colors fit different kinds of teas. For example, we use glasses for jasmine tea, or white china for Anxi Tie Guan Yin, as you have seen today. A suitable teacup may reflect the most features of a particular tea. So for many tea fans, they comply to a set of rules about teacups and the ways of serving teas. But as for me, it would be a very great experience to enjoy tea itself. So no matter what kinds of way I serve tea, or no matter what kinds of teacup I have, I really like drinking tea.
My question isn't about tea, it's about Fuzhou. So I am from Singapore and Malaysia, but my ancestors are from Fuzhou, like Fujian. Yes, Fujian. So I'm just wondering, do a lot of people still speak, or do most people still speak Fuzhounese or Hokkien, in addition to Mandarin, right now?
Actually, in Fujian province, there are different kinds of dialects here, including Fuzhou dialect and the dialect in the Quanzhou, the city of Xiamen. We have different kinds of dialects here. Local people often speak those dialects here, both speaking local dialects and Mandarin. Bilingual. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Any other questions?
No more questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. There is no more question here. Now, my colleague Xuan Han is in a particular place for showcasing a great exercise. Let's back to Xuan Han. Xuan Han, back to you. To be inspired, and now it is a public sports ground. We can see that there are many people learning Wing Chun from the masters. Let's go check it out.
All right. Wing Chun is originated in Fujian and became popular in Guangdong, and then spread to over 100 countries and regions through Hong Kong. Chinese super kung fu stars Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan is well-known representative of Wing Chun, and Wing Chun required Chinese to stay focused, calm, cool-headed despite all challenges. And there are many young learners, even children, are practicing Wing Chun to build up their body, toughen their will instead of just flexing their muscles. So we in Fujian often say that hard work pays off, but it is impossible to keep these enterprising spirits up without good health. So together, let's exercise for a better shared future. 老师您好。
好。主持人好。
很好，给观众打个招呼。
哦，好，大家好。
大家好。So 我们开始吧 ，Let's get started.
可以。OK。先教一下咏春的抱拳礼。
All right.
一般正常是左掌。
The left hand and the right hand.
跟月。OK。代表明，代表彼此的尊重。
Okay. So the left hand means the moon, and the right one means the sun.
日跟月代表正大光明。
Okay, so they combine together.
Yeah.
Okay.
那么我们接下来学动作。
Okay.
OK， 看，好，后顶轴，屈膝，好，收腋下，好，
OK，
交叉。
Slower, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
拳握。
Okay.
后顶轴。
Yeah.
上拳。
画。
弹手。OK， 跳起，收势。
Yeah. Thank you.
刚才的日冲拳在movie 当中经常出现。
Okay. The master says it is a movements that we can often see in the movies, especially in Bruce Lee's, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
包括小萝卜的堂里也是拍练咏春的。
All right. Thank you. 谢谢老师。
Okay.
Thank you. Hi. Thank you. 谢谢老师。
Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
Wow, it's so cute.
Yeah. You see, the artists have brought us their paper cutting work, extending the wishes of safety, health, and good fortune. We welcome all of you to Fujian for an in-person experience of the diverse food culture here.
Also, so the journey of the food culture is coming to a close. So our friends from the media have any questions?
Yeah, okay. Let's check whether there is any question from our media friends.
Okay, we got the first one. Let's say, how many forms are there in Wing Chun? I think I can answer this one, right? Because I asked the master before, they say, the Wing Chun has 3 basic movements or forms, and they are beginner level, intermediate level, and advanced level. And each of them contains many movements inside. So if you are really interested about Wing Chun, welcome to Fujian to find a master to learn more about it. So now we got the second one.
The second question. Would you please recommend some local delicacies in Fujian?
Okay.
Oh, that's a very good question.
Yeah.
Chinese food really attracts people from all over the world. In Fujian, you also have plenty of choices here. For example, if you come to Fuzhou fish bowl, I recommend you put Fuzhou fish bowl on your list of must eat. It's a kind of a food with a history of more than 100 years.
Yeah.
It's made of fish and meat in a traditional way. Have a try, it's very delicious. If you come to the city of Xiamen, why not buy some Xiamen sweet cakes? It's really a match for afternoon tea. So bring some Xiamen sweet cakes as a gift for your families or friends.
Yeah. So, are there any more questions?
I see the Shoushan. It's very beautiful.
Yeah.
How much? If I want to buy one, how much?
Well,
how much money I should pay for it?
The journalist asked how much we can buy a Shoushan stone seals.
Oh,
yeah.
Is it expensive?
I think it's very expensive.
I guess the price ranging from low price to higher price.
With the different kinds, between the different kinds of it, and different materials.
That depends on the stone, the skills of carving,
because they are all made by hand.
And the competence of the craftsman.
Yeah, so the hide is very expensive.
Yeah.
So do go to Fujian to discover more of Shoushan stone.
Discover more.
Yeah.
For your in-person experience in Fujian.
Okay.
Okay. Any other friends have questions? I think they don't have questions now.
Oh, there are no more questions here.
No more questions.
Thank you.
Here. We warmly welcome all of you to Fujian for an experience of our colorful food culture.
Yeah.
Now let's say it again.
Welcome to Fujian.
好，
对
跳题。
同学们，我们大家一起向世界发出邀请，好不好？
好。
3、2、1。